Ladies, the men need to be lonelier. They don't deserve us yet, or the people who are at least out on the dating market right now.
Grow a pair. Grow a pair. You were smiling at me. You were making little flirty faces. Like, just come up to me and ask for my number.
We lived happily ever after. Ooh.
We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic.
Men are choosing peace over being with modern women, and it is driving them completely insane. We've got a video for you here today from Griffin Mind. Let's get into it.
Some men will choose a life of solitude simply because they've been so hurt by women in the past. They don't know how to trust women, and honestly, they don't even know if it's worth it. So if this man is willing to let you into his heart, and he's willing to work on things, he's going to require patience and reassurance. But know that if you're in that spot, he's not going to let you go.
Even when women try to understand what men are going through, they can't help but feminize the whole thing by saying that men are just wounded animals who need love and care. They don't want to listen to what men have to say. They just want to make it about themselves and make it really weird.
Big theme that I'm seeing is, especially in the younger generation of men, feeling that isolation is their best answer to not even just social interaction, but like goals in life. Like, I want to go live in the woods by myself with a tractor, you know, like no one else. And they're reading that book of the guy who did that and died like that and was completely unhappy and left like journals and everything like this. And I don't know if it's a trend, but I do see that hyper-individualistic, and then the conclusion they find is isolation. And that prohibits, like, it comes from that awkwardness and different things, but it prohibits them finding any codependency that's healthy, any relationship that's healthy, any enfolding of themselves interacting with life that is healthy.
Take note of how she says hyper-individualistic as if that's somehow a bad thing. If a man sees value in being alone and wanting to be at peace with himself, there's nothing wrong with that. He's not a threat. He's a man who simply wants to be left alone.
I don't want to sound harsh by saying this, but men don't want extra drama that they don't need in their life. Men would rather be alone than with a woman who brings nothing more than drama into his life. And no, this doesn't mean that you can't come to him with your problems. This doesn't mean that you can't go to him when you're feeling bad or when you're feeling upset. This just means if that is all you're bringing to the relationship, it is simply not enough, especially for a good man who's going places in his life. If you want to lock down an amazing guy who has all the qualities you're looking for, who is driven, who is ambitious, who's going places in life, you need to be the kind of woman that he would want to be with. And the kind of woman he would want to be with is a woman who is self-controlled, who is emotionally stable, and who's able to support him and put him first in difficult times and not only come to him with all of your drama.
You know that there is an army of modern women who heard what she just said and are taking massive amounts of offense with it. We live in a time where if these women are told that men need to be seen as human beings, they get angry at the notion. That's how much they dislike men.
You need to learn to be careful with what you say, when you say it, and how you say it. And remember that you need to bring assets into his life that are more than just your looks if you want to be with a man that is going places in life.
The problem is that modern women oftentimes just think that they're completely perfect, that any and every man in their lives has to be even more perfect than she is for her to consider a relationship, and even then she ruins everything with her entitlement and terrible attitude anyway.
So I had a post or two or three go viral.
Okay.
Because on Tinder, I was trying to meet women, and I realized in real time why men may have a harder time dating. Caveat, we'll asterisk that for a second, but essentially something that I hate is when I see a girl's profile that says, make me laugh, impress me, take me somewhere like great, you know, like something where it really strongly suggests she does not plan on really meeting me in the middle.
This just goes back to the idea that a lot of modern women see men as service providers, where the man has to do everything. We have to make her laugh, we have to take her places, make her feel special, all of that, and she has to do nothing in return for the man.
And then I realized that it's likely more common, at least in, you know, American culture, that women do that more than men. I don't see a lot of guys' profiles that say, make me laugh, take me to, like, show me a good time. Like,
yeah, super true.
Mostly not. And it could be primarily because women have a lot more choices, but it's sort of a dynamic thing, and it sucks, and I hate it. I get to skip all of those people very easily without a second thought because I have tons of choices. I just go to the next one. And I do realize a lot of the guys in the comments think that I don't realize this. I'm not stupid, I do. that you guys have fewer choices. I keep saying less choices, it's fewer choices. But you can still have standards. And something I would recommend, what a lot of women are doing is choosing to be happy alone.
Men are choosing to be alone. That's not the problem. The issue is that men are practically demonized for choosing to be alone. Modern women love to mock men who check out of the dating game, and that's why the apps are starting to fail as well.
Like genuinely, not like in a bitter, jaded, I hate men and I'm just gonna go cry into my pillow with my cats.
That's impossible.
Like, yeah, we're gonna have cats and nice pillows, but happily, you know? Like, it's a good choice. It's not like a last resort. It can be a first resort. And a lot of you guys are pretty, you know, unhappy with the dating choices. And if you feel like you have to choose women like that are telling you have to come on the first date like it's a job interview, and you hate it and you just hate dating and you're so frustrated, you can do exactly what women that are sick of the dating scene are doing and just...
She had some good points, but completely fumbled the last one. Modern women are completely miserable. They are miserable in their relationships oftentimes, and they're even more miserable when they are single. The only difference is the level of cope they try to force upon themselves.
Like, fulfill yourself, you know? And I don't just mean like onanism. You can fully be like a fully actualized human that's really, really happy, and you can have fulfilling friendships, even with other men. You might have to put in a little more work because, granted, it is not pretty out there for guys as far as how encouraged men still are to express their emotions, and that's rough, and it's something we all can work on together. But if you don't just look at women as someone to potentially date or hook up with, you can make some really great friends. They don't need to be your type.
And the fumbles keep on coming. This woman has completely lost it. She is so condescending towards men that she thinks men are not capable of feeling their emotions, and she just assumes what men think when they do decide to date. She just assumes to know how men's minds work, and it's rather insulting.
They're people.
Just have female friends.
Men or women, you can have friends that fulfill everything that you would need out of a relationship, you know, depending on how you do friendship, probably not your, you know, sexual needs, but you can be perfectly happy. You can step out, you can opt out happily and not bitterly, just as easily as women can. You are in the driver's seat of your own life. You're not being held hostage here. You don't have to be in a situation with which you are not happy. You're in charge. You can choose to own your own self-worth and know that you're better than this. I can tell from a lot of the anger that you know you're better than this, or can be.
She keeps making it worse. She's just blindly assuming that men are angry at women. Most of us really aren't. We're just done. We walked away with our peace and dignity intact. Men aren't asking for advice from women because all they want to do is act like they know better, when oftentimes they just straight up do not.
This idea of the male loneliness epidemic, I think needs to be looked at. Some of these guys are lonely, that's true, but part of the reason is that they're looking at their options and they're like, I can't do it. Like, this is not appealing to me anymore. So they're feeling lonely. There is a segment of guys that are feeling lonely because they don't want you anymore. Like, they're not drawn to you anymore. So they would love to be with a woman who acts like a woman, who's feminine, who's respectful.
This whole male loneliness epidemic thing was something that was started up by modern women to have yet another excuse to hate on men. These women celebrate the mere idea of men suffering when all they're doing is projecting all of their insecurities onto a population of men who actually couldn't care less.
Who's loyal, who's, not going to cheat, who's not going to, their phone's not going to be, shady as you know what, who's not going to be posting like all naked pictures online all the time looking for male attention while you got a boyfriend here that you got one foot out the door, who's not going to feel like, you can't ask her what she, hey, like, what do you want to bring to the relationship? How dare you? They're looking for like a quality woman and they don't see it.
It's pretty much come to the point where men have decided that there's just too much hate with modern women. There is so much venom and a desire to just want to hurt people around them, so it makes sense why men just said enough was enough.
So a lot of those men, it's not all guys who are just trying to seal the deal and can't make it happen. Is that some of it? Sure. But there's also guys who could seal the deal and don't want to. They're just like, well, I'm going to spend a boatload of money. I'm going to spend a boatload of time. And like, what's in it for me? Really, at the end of the day, am I getting any of my boxes checked in this? So they're choosing to just be lonely, and just because they're like, where are all the good women? Where have they gone?
The sad part is how modern women are offended at the idea of a man asking the question, what's in it for me? In the eyes of a modern woman, men aren't allowed to actually want anything. They have to freely give and expect nothing in return. It's a bad deal that men do not want.
I was at the beach today alone, and the spot where I wanted to sit was like right by a rock because I wanted to lean up against it and read. There's this guy like directly in front of me, like maybe 10 feet away. Super cute, like really cute guy. And he noticed me, I noticed him, we smiled at each other, whatever. And I was at the beach for a good like 3 hours, maybe 4, just reading. I had like one headphone in, wasn't like, I like the door was open, and a part of me wanted to go up to him and like be like, hey, how's it going? But honestly, another part of me was just like, what the hell am I doing thinking of going up to guys? I don't want a guy who's too shy to come up to me.
It's amazing to watch these women automatically think that guys are either too shy or too afraid to approach them. But when you consider the types of men that they want, those dudes are not afraid. If they were interested, they would approach you. It really is that simple.
I don't want a guy that I have to make the first move with. Yes, he was very cute. He was alone. He looked single. But why the hell would I put myself out there and be like, hey, how's it going? And I honestly think it's like a super huge issue with guys nowadays where it's like, just make the move. I've made the moves before to guys. I've given guys my number, like, and gone up to them first. But at this point, I'm kind of over that. I'm like, I'm not, no, like, you can come up to me. Maybe that's a hot take, but honestly, like, really, like, grow a pair. Grow a pair. You were smiling at me. You were making little flirty faces. Like, just come up to me and ask for my number. It's really, really not that hard.
Men have no incentive to approach women anymore. Womanism has destroyed the social contract to the point where a man runs the risk of severe punishment for approaching the wrong woman, but modern women will refuse that ever happened and just accuse us of being cowards. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.